And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alien Spaceship stream. You could be watching from anywhere around the country or the world, and I really appreciate you. Coming to you from the Spaceship Studios from a galaxy far, far away. Alright, so we are now going to switch over to the other screen and get started. Alright, let's go here. This way. Oh, yeah. Alright. And then y'all see me in just a moment. I'm going to make everything brighter. Go this way. Alright, here I am. Hello everybody, it is I, Alien Spaceship. I hope everybody's had a good day and is having a good evening. So, about to get the game out to get started. And we are in some interesting things. There's the No King's Day protests going on across different parts of the country. And mostly in the West Coast. Hello, Bob. Good to see you. Thank you for the link. I'll save it. And that was something I think there's a lot of people protesting over there that I've been seeing. That's something I've been seeing today, and I did some grass also earlier. And hello, Doe. Great to see you. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Now I'm going to start the game up. Let's go here. Oh. All right, so I think that it is a lot of these people that I see protesting. Nothing wrong with protesting, but a lot of times I think that they don't always act appropriately, or they just seem like a bunch of goofy clowns. A lot of times I'll see. It's entertaining to watch, but they certainly have foolish tendencies to them, especially when they get violent. That's always not good. Alright, and let's see, the game is about to start in a moment. And turn that off, let's see. That's good. Switch over this way, which it said that the game will pop up at some point. You know, it usually does, but sometimes the game recently has been starting out slow. And Doe said, yeah, Alien, I was a mod during the NYC protest on a friend's channel, Wild. Okay, thank you, Bob, for the video. Let's see. I'm not too. Maybe it's a UFO or something. Thanks for the video. Okay. I didn't know they're happening in New York City. Yeah, it certainly is wild stuff. It's trying to, they're claiming to protest against, say, dictatorships, things of that nature. But all I think that disrupting traffic is wrong, and disturbing the peace. I think that is not what people should be doing. And people should certainly be, if they want to protest, they could do it peacefully without blocking traffic. So yeah, I think a lot of these people certainly make themselves fools. Now, another thing that you could see in these types of protests is they're wearing like Burger King crowns. They're wearing dunce hat Burger King crowns, I've heard. And as I said, I'd see a lot on the people from the West Coast are telling me, and also we saved New York City too. And they have these blow up things, these you see at parades, and they really invest a lot of money and time into these activities rather than doing something that is productive, like playing a game or watching a movie. They have these other things going on where it doesn't really get the point across, and I feel it's a waste of their time. And I feel if somebody like believes in a cause, even if it's something I disagree with, they should do it. But I feel in this situation it's unproductive, completely. It's not changing anything. I feel there's not a problem. For instance, in my opinion, although people may disagree, like I don't think we're like North Korea or some other countries over in Europe. So we're not a dictatorship in that sense. Now, if it's North Korea or one of those places, that would be very bold and noble for those people to take action. And very bold and noble. It would be a great innovation. But this situation, I don't think is necessary. But of course, people have a right to protest that they like and disagree. It's fine. Doe says, cool. Thank you, Bob. We wish I could catch more awesome sky events out of my new place, but if you've been watching a few of my shorts, there are some scary sounds at night here. Oh well. Oh, and yeah, it looks like a very beautiful night. I saw the clip from Bob. All right, here's the game, and if he has no objection, I don't mind playing it for the stream if he wanted to see it. If they want, when the people come in. Well, there's people here now, but like when later on, I might play it. Yeah, it looks like a very nice sky, Bob. Thank you. I always like the nighttime sky, and I'm glad that y'all are taking interest in filming the night sky. It's always so fascinating. And scary sounds at night. Now, Doe, can you describe possibly what these sounds may sound like, out of curiosity? I would like to know, if you want to mention, because I wonder if it's if it's paranormal or if it's something human or something we're not too sure what it is. It'd be interesting to know. Yeah, scared. Okay, this is the liar's dice. Then we're gonna go plunder. Yeah, so I have heard strange sound, not anytime recently, but I've heard strange sounds before where I thought that it could have been. Now there's a lot of stuff in the city, and that could be, and where I am, that could be making noises personally. But yeah, I've heard some things, some whispers and stuff that I wondered if it was something paranormal, and things like that. So, and I've seen stuff that was weird too. It wasn't just about that. Alien, when I moved in and I thought there was a Yeti outside, lol. Now I just think it's a strange sound of a cow is making. There's also a type of bird in my woods, and they're all making sounds. Oh, I hear all the time. I hear strange sounds from birds. All the time. You know, last night, for instance, I now though it could be foxes if you have foxes around there. That's possible. And like with foxes, they can make these crazy sounds, and also wildcats too, like those bobcats can make it as well. Now, even where I am in the city, in the outskirts of the city, I'll hear strange. Like last night, I was outside. I heard some strange noises, and oh, thank you, Bob. When I have heard, last night I heard some strange noises, and it was a bird in a tree, and I'm like, man, these birds are some weird. Like, it makes some weird sounds sometimes. Appreciate the link, Bob. Now, so those are the possibilities what it could be. Because birds could be make weird noises too, and so in the mysterious forests, there could be all kinds of things we don't really know that are there. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Aaron, for stopping by. It's great to see you. I prayers for your cold. Thank you for giving me an update. Two, and have a great evening. So, Endo says I have coyotes before, but I haven't been brave enough to film them on the porch. Yeah, it would be safer, of course, to not do that. Especially if there's something out there that could cause harm. But I think that with if one day would be cool to find now if there is a way to record it from inside. Yeah, if there's a way to record it from inside, that would be preferable. But to where it would be more safe. But yeah, eventually, it would be cool to know what it is exactly. But thank you for telling us about that. Yeah, because of course I'm not in the woods somewhere, and yeah, there could be yetis. There could be a mysterious creature that we're not familiar of, or it could be some other type of animal we're not quite familiar with. Because there's been videos on YouTube of people hearing screams at night. So for Doe, there's people who've heard screams at night in the woods. Now they possibly could have been people being in a bad situation, but or it could have been coyotes or foxes. They can make weird noises. Bob says freedom seeds make a lot of bad stuff go away. That's good. Okay, good night, Aaron. Catch you tomorrow. I need one of those cool nature cams, those awesome ones that cost a bunch. Yeah, yeah. I think there's probably inexpensive ones. I'll go look into it. But yeah, that would be great if you had a nature camera to be able to pick up the sound of what is going on in there. That would be really cool. Movie files here to there is a chore. Yeah. Now, there was a creature. There was a creature that was seen on one of my friend's nature cameras allegedly, and it was apparently a Mothman, and which is a cryptid. So it was a type of cryptid that was allegedly seen, and some people were speculating if it was real or not, but it was caught up in a very very high tree, and yeah, it was quite strange looking because you never really know who or what is in the woods. A lot of times, people, although woods are friendly and fine, I think that they're safe woods people could go into. I like the woods, but of course there could be uh, also things in there could be dangerous. Yeah, they'll come in infrared. They'll come in different ways. The way the tree cams work. It's nice and spooky. I mean, right in time for Halloween, there is a strange occurrences right before Halloween. I'm scared. He's saying to set tripwires. With a 10 garage fishing hooks. Yes, yes. Yeah, and you can catch whatever that is, the yeti, whatever is lurking in the woods. Yeah. So yeah, those are methods that could be used with the nature cameras that you put on like trees. You know, sometimes there's these situations that I've seen with YouTube where people have gone like camping in the woods, and they'll hear strange things because you don't always know like what's out there, and sometimes people encountered others that weren't really that great people to be around, and they had to leave. So it can be quite hectic indeed. Take the harmful lead out of the shotgun and rig your line head high to avoid deer. Rig a moose trap that would be your trigger. Oh, okay. Understood. Now, in the seas, and the people go fishing, sometimes they'll catch weird fish in there, and are like bizarre things from underwater, and people don't really know what some of the creatures are exactly. And there's so much of the ocean that isn't explored. And I think that even with our own Earth on land, there are things that people have not seen yet that are in the woods lurking around. And there's lots of speculations of what those things could be. Because although I do believe in space and aliens and stuff like that, I do appreciate the way it is. Everything is viewed in the lens of mystery, when you don't like quite know what is going on. Oh, I lost one of the ships. I guess I have to go. Yeah, that's right, from yesterday, the other day. All right. In different parts of the country, there are different types of alleged cryptids that exist, and different sightings have been seen. Sometimes there's claims that the reason why people see cryptids is that they're seeing something that is actually some other type of animal that they're mistaken for something else. Other times, it could be something that is strange that we do not know of. That's another thing that it could be very much so. There's many different. There's a Jersey Devil. There's Bigfoot, or the Yetis. Yeah, I remember when I was doing the stream earlier in January, people thought the Space Yetis got me because the stream went out because of the phone. Yeah, and Bob said about the other situation is that you could climb a tree and wait them. Yeah, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, some birds can sound very crazy. That's another thing with some birds, as I mentioned. I mentioned before about birds being weird, but yeah, there's some birds that can be really loud, and owls too. And stay safe out there, Doe, with all that's going on. And if you find anything more about it, keep us updated. When there's so much unexplored territory, can you not be tired by waiting, though would be hard to part? Now, that is true, Bob, but there could be different hunting, like those hunting camps you could put up in a woods and just kind of wait there. I don't know what, I forgot what they're called, but there's these like little hunting bases you could put up in a tree that you could, like a kind of like a tree house, and scout it out. You're welcome. You're welcome, Doe. And if at some point you got a nature camera to see what's going on, that'd be good to know. And if you could record it from inside, that would be the best, safest way because you don't know what it could be. Uh, you know. Now, another thing about the woods, as I said, the woods are fine, but not all woods are fine. There are woods that are dangerous, of course. It could be risky. But I think that it's a nice place. There are woods that people could explore and have a fun time in. But something that I know of is that there are these strange occurrences where you'll have hermits in the woods. Yeah, a deer stand. That's one of them. There's another name that I forgot though. It looks like a little fort. Maybe it's called different things. Hello there, Lori. It's good evening. Great to see you. Lori, we're talking about the woodlands, and Uh, see, Doe hears where she's at, some stuff in the woods, and we're just speculating about what it could be and what she should do. And yeah, a deer stand's good. As I said, it looks like a little enclosure, like an enclosure in camouflage, like a tent, or you could put it up in it could go high up in a tree. But as I said, that works. But yeah, there's some other name for that. What you're speaking of that I don't recall at the moment. Yeah, and I'm pirating the stormy seas right now, Lori. That's what we're doing. And yeah, so somebody got into one of those things. Now there could be, as I said, if there's strange things in the woods at night that are making those screaming noises, people would have to understand that somebody or something is going to come out. And okay, thank you, Lori. Thank you, Bob, for the link. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so like, say somebody takes a deer stand. Lori said, "I'm just redneck proficient." Yeah. All right. So, oh, hello, Moki. Good to see you, dear. Welcome to the stream. So, and we're talking about things in the woods. So, basically, with you take a deer stand, if somebody were to uh, camp out inside the deer stand and like at night, or something like I could hypothetically try would be not that I'm recommending people to do that and kind of scout out and see what the screaming noises are because you're in an elevated position where you can kind of see like what's going on. And although you won't really be able to see much without some infrared goggles, but you kind of be able to record at least the noise. Oh, okay. Thank you, Moki. Yeah, I to well, what happened today was I went to yeah, no, I'll play it. I went to the uh, I cut the grass and I took a shower and my hair's I fixed my hair my hair was cut recently. That's true. I have it styled a little bit differently. So thank you. I'm glad you like the hair. It was I took a shower before I got here and I just styled my hair a little bit differently. But yeah, it's cut of from recently. So thank you, Moki. Glad you like it. All right, I'm going to park this ship at Raven's Cove, and we're going to see what this noise is all about. We'll do it, and then we'll switch back to the game. All right. Shout out to Doe and everybody here. There's people that have been in the woods and they've heard strange noises and seen weird things they couldn't really explain, and they need to go for safety. Yeah. All right. Actually, let's see. Oh, let's see. Preferences. What is it? I'm gonna play it for y'all right now. Now I'm technically going to take the game off for a moment so the sound doesn't get mixed up with the game. Okay, so now we're going to go to anyone doing the No Kings protest? Oh, I saw that earlier. I saw that. I earlier Bubbles was doing the No Kings protest when I wasn't giving him. Well, he wanted some food. He was doing the No Kings protest. But that's something I had to deal with earlier. Okay. Let's see shorts. All right. Okay. Go watch to see you think my last Sounds in the Woods video. Okay, let's go here. Hilarious. Hilarious Smokey. Yeah, I'm being that being a lame alien. Yep. Alright, so we're going to put this up here and we're going to switch over this way and go down the road to this. Okay, and we're going to put that right there. And put this guy right here. Alright, let's see what we got here. Thank you, Doe, for showing us that. I know it was a spooky situation, but I do that would be really cool sounds to go to sleep to, with the rain and the peaceful forests. That was really nice to to hear that. And but I will say, yeah, the critters. It as the chat said, the chat has already said everything I'm about to say. I think, in my opine, it seems like it could be a. At first, it sounds like birds, and then after that, it sounds like it could be a like a couple of foxes or wolves that are babies. For another thing, it reminded me of is seagulls. That and I love the green yard. It looks very beautiful, very nice green. And another thing that I was noticing is that it had a peculiar the last part of it is there farms around you. Maybe there could have been cows in the distance, or maybe it was Bigfoot, as chat suggested. Yeah, y'all heard of seagulls also. Oh, you're welcome, though. I could go to sleep to that. Okay, like I could put that on like loop and just go to sleep to it. Like that was really cool. And it's very peaceful. It reminds me of my friend's woods. When I was a teen, I used to go to my friend's place that was up north in the woods, and that reminded me of being up there. So, good memories. Okay, it wasn't cows. Okay, thank you, Lori. I thought I heard a mooing, but okay. It could have been a strange bird, because the birds kind of speak in rhythm like that. But then again, I wouldn't really know with a bird with those octaves that deep. So yeah, definitely could have been Bigfoot. Absolutely. Oh yeah, the prevalent sounds weren't like towards the end. There's a part where there was some. It sounded like some kind of groaning or mooning. Not mooning. That's funny. Mooing, something like that. And that is what I think it could be, but it could be some sort of weird bird, something like that. Yeah, pterodactyls. Yeah. Alligators are a Leviathan, kings of children of pride. Yeah, a Leviathan. I know what that is. We've I've talked about that before here. It's something from the Bible. Some fallen angel or some sort of a hybrid creature that was created. There's a couple of different interpretations, but it's like a sea monster, a demonic sea monster. Yeah, Lori, I saw it mooning. Scared. Moki said, my daughter spent about 4 hours at Michael's hobby store today. What a nut she is. Yeah, and it reminds me when I used to go to the thrift stores and I used to buy a bunch of things, which of course I I used to always like the little trinkets and stuff in there. So uh, there was this other place that I went to that was a hobby store back in a couple of years ago when I was doing some detailing with one of my with Nash. Yeah, it was a similar type of store that you're referring to. I thought it was like you get all these different hobbyist things, like these little you could build things and stuff like that. That so yeah, I personally would probably get lost in there with all in my head with all the different things. Oh, she's planning for Christmas. Uh, that is very cool. That's very cool. Get a head start with that. Yes, there is a cow mooing in the end, and the scary cow answering back. Yeah, scared. Yeah, I was like, I couldn't have gotten that part wrong because all the times I learned from farmers. Uh, like I have friends that are farmers that like send me videos and stuff. There's like no way I got that wrong, and I'm glad that I got that right because it's like I was thinking like I must have uh, unknowingly got intoxicated by some smoky spaceship fumes from the other room. Scared. Man, imagine you hear that moo at night. It's like you don't gotta be worried about the Yeti cow. You don't gotta be worried about nothing. You just gotta be worried about them Yeti cows. Moki said, "Where the EF are you?" Yeah, scared. Oh, Laura got one. Scared cows. Yeti cows. Yeah. My friend saw a UFO once. Its body was like an alligator, and its head was like a squid. Yeah, you know what? That's a type of like we're talking about plasmoids. There is something like that, Bob. I saw it on tape on YouTube, not on YouTube, on the internet. Yeah, I saw that too, but online. Oh, okay. Thank you, Moki. A Yeti cow be motherly. Alright, so going this way to the other window. We're going to see our good friend, for a second, Darrell Brooks. He's looks and some other people. Alright, so let's go here.
With a shirt that says "For Charlie."
Because I advocate for free speech, and I
Okay, you
absolutely love
free speech. Wear a shirt that says free speech. Wear a shirt that says promote free debate.
Free press.
with
a shirt that says "For Charlie."
Because I advocate for free speech, and I
Okay, you
absolutely love
free speech. Wear a shirt that says free speech. Wear a shirt that says promote free debate.
Free press.
you get triggered because it has Charlie on there, right?
Because he was a racist. Because he was a misogynist, and that means that you are too. Because you support him. Get out! Get out of here!
He hated people. Yeah, just
He hated
calm it
anyone
down.
that
wasn't white,
Calm
that
it
wasn't
down.
male, that wasn't straight.
Yeah, because
With a
it's free
shirt
speech event.
that says "For Charlie."
Because
Yeah,
I
like
advocate for free speech.
I
and
know-
I
Okay, you
absolutely love.
I know a black guy that knew him, and this is actually not true. He was not racist. So this is really a disgrace. So I'm going to give you all some heads up. So thank you, Bob, for the link. What's the problem? Okay, Moki, I'll explain the protest to you from my own words. So from the protest, they believe in their opine that Trump is a Hitlerian type figure or a messiah figure to bring fascism into the country, And he's been the president one time before, and he failed to implement fascism. And he's really a failed fascist leader, if you really think about it, because he got voted out. And he was also, there was some election questioning that occurred, and he still didn't really do much to challenge it. So I do think that if he was trying to implement fascism, he's doing a lazy job of it. But to give you, that was being me sarcastic, because my point is that he's not a fascist. So the reason why they do this is they're trying to protest Trump as a fascist dictator that is trying to take away to try to implement the fascist ideology, Hitlerian ideology, and a white supremacist ideology to cause oppression to America, and they feel that it would be taking away the Constitution and the values of the Founding Fathers that they set for us. And of course, that would be very terrible if that did go away, because we need our freedom. And Ronald Reagan even said something we could all agree on, that if we lost freedom here, we would have freedom nowhere else. But the unfortunate situation here is that these people, if they have good intentions, they have been, in my opinion, manipulated and skewed and tinkered with by the actual fascists and the actual racists, the actual white supremacists. And oh, hello Danielle, great to see you, welcome to the chat. And what these people are doing is they are not being comprehending the situation where the other side is more likely part of that group than the other group that they're claiming is the fascist group. That is my opinion about it. And they think in their mind it's happening because they're basing off on emotion. They're not going by a logical reasoning of the situation. And I will say they lack a foreknowledge of fascism in general, because I know about fascism. I'm part German, so I study a lot about this fascism stuff. So yeah, I'd say that this is not the same situation. It's not the same thing. So as I said, if he was implementing something like that, I'll explain to you. American revolutions percolate in their subconscious mind and become and they can't even be happy about the truths. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, exactly. You see, there is, in the Middle East, thank the Lord that finally there has been peace over there. And that is a blessing. We want wars to end, and I want both of those two countries to get along. And same thing with Eastern Europe. I hope they could get that situation settled, the war in Russia that's happening. So, yeah, they just, these people don't touch grass. As I like to say a lot, they don't play a game. They don't go play a board game. They don't go out to eat, get some crabs and cocktails. They don't do stuff like that. They don't watch some trials. They don't play games and hang out with their friends like people would do back in the 90s or early 2000s. They want to go and feel that they're doing a righteous cause, but they're not really doing that. If anything, they're invoking the side that they're on. They're trying to be against. They're invoking that side to be against. Oh yes, I'm glad to hear that. Amen. That is what I believe that they're doing. They're pushing it. They're pushing boundaries here. They are causing this drastic problem where they keep on causing that side to get radicalized. So they keep calling somebody fascist over and over and over. And that is going to actually cause the opposite effect. Crabs and cocktails, who you're talking about? I'm talking about one of my most prized angels in the spaceship. That's what I'm talking about. Scared. And shout out to you, Moki. And says, we would be so close to the sun if it would burn out the F existence. If we were evolved 13% slower, we would not be. Very good point, Bob. Thank you. Yeah, so I just think that this type of protest is unnecessary, and it's too complicated, and it's, causing more harm than good. And I will tell you, I'll give you an explanation what the funny mustache man did. He, as I said, he blamed the different groups of people for Journey's problems, and then he went in, and what happens is they take away the citizenship of people. He wanted to protect democracy in Journey, so he canceled all free speech. He censored everything, and he made it into a police state immediately. Okay, he didn't get voted out and come back in. He didn't go play golf. And what this is, apples or oranges. Also, the Weimar Republic, which is also similar to Weimar Republic, they had a lot of protesting, lots of riots. They had a lot of political uprisings. So that's more what this country is resembling, Weimar Republic, than is resembling the, other things. But he certainly is not having a dictatorship or whatever they're doing. It's not true. And I believe they're doing this primarily for money and clout, and they have nothing else to do. Because a lot of these protesters are paid. They're not even doing it out of intellectual disagreement, which I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in right to protest, whatever it is. And I believe that people that are activists, if they're on the left, on the right, they should be respected. Bernie Sanders, for instance, he was very respectful, and he said you do not assassinate people. If you disagree with somebody, you go and disagree and bring it to the American people. He even believes in the concept of that, because he's a socialist, but he believes in a democratic socialism. He doesn't believe in a Stalinistic type socialism, which was a dystopia. And I see as a group of meeting people with TDS. Hilarious, Smokey. All right, Lori says, the U.S. president can't possibly be a fascist within the structure of the three branches of government system. If it is functioning, checks and balances not. I'm confident our system, but it's an idea. Right, and I do believe that our system can have flaws. I'm not saying that I agree with everything a president does or doesn't do. That's what I'm trying to explain. That doesn't mean that I'm going to agree. I'm not going to agree with everything someone, a political figure says. No one's going to agree on everything. So, but this doesn't mean you have to go to this extreme about it. You look at the crazy look in this lady's face. God, these people are as I said, it's a collective pheromones of insanity that's happening. 9/11 every week in Ukraine, yeah. And Russia has TRMU guns, yeah. Well, I'm sure it's definitely a really bad, it's terrible what's going on over there. It needs to be more peaceful in that region of the world, definitely. Yeah, so if somebody can have a freedom to wear what they want to wear, they don't have to, especially if that's what they believe in. And as I said, this person that they're saying is racist is not racist. I know that for a fact. Okay, I can know that. I can guarantee you for a fact it wasn't racist. Okay, I know insider information. Yeah, and we need aliens with guns. Yeah, they'll certainly save the day. All right, okay, Danielle. So, in the video, the individual was wearing a shirt because he agreed with things that the individual, what Charlie was saying, and he was just trying to have a dialogue information. But these other people were not letting him have a dialogue. They're just calling him rather than having a debate with him. They were calling him racist, but he wasn't being racist, in my opinion, by just standing there. So either way, I think that people should have debates and discussions and not try to call people cancel culture names. Regardless of what people think, people don't have to agree with these people, either side or one side or another. But I think that normal discussions with each other is better than screaming and yelling at other people about what they disagree with. Now, I'll play the video again. All right, and here we go. The most sought after artifact exists, and oh, thank you, Doe. That I really appreciate that deeply. Thank you. All right. Right, people should communicate. Here we go.
With a shirt that says "For Charlie."
Because I advocate for free speech, and I
Okay, you
absolutely love
free speech. Wear a shirt that says free speech. Wear a shirt that says promote free debate.
Free press.
Well, you get triggered because it has Charlie on there, right?
Because he was a racist. Because he was a misogynist, and that means that you are too. Because you support him. Get out! Get out of here!
He hated people. Yeah, just
He hated
calm it
anyone
down. That wasn't white, that wasn't male, that wasn't straight.
As I
With
said,
the
I know a black guy that knew Charlie. Okay, I know a black guy that knows Charlie. So there's no way a guy could have been racist if he No, he was not racist. No. So just for the record. But rather than debating him or having a discussion with this person, they just go and start acting like a bunch of seagull foxes in the woods that keep yapping. So, yeah, that's the video. And that's what happens in this country now. You know, people are not having... It said you don't have to agree with either side. Or one person may disagree with one person or another. It's not even about getting people to see a different point of view. All I'm trying to say is we have to be open to see other people's points of view. That's all I'm saying. Right, not communicating at all. Right. And Lori said, Alien, when I went to Apolitical about 5 years ago, and it is very freeing. I honor principles that matter to me, no parties, leaders, etc. Lori, I think that's the best way to be. And as I have seen it mentioned before, is that people are... Your family, your friends are far more important than the... Oh, hello, D-Sauce. Good to see you, buddy. Are far more important than politics and leaders and stuff like that. So, Lori, I appreciate that, being apolitical. And I have learned that wisdom from many people. Like on here, for instance, I've learned wisdom from here, from... mentors of mine here that have told me that family, friends, and all that matters more in politics. People that don't even know who we are, right? We don't need to be deleting each other and getting all crazy over these things. So yeah, I do agree with being apolitical. That's a good way to go. And I'm very involved with, not really recently so much because of my own channel. I have been, but of course over here I do it. I've been very involved with political activism and stuff like that. But not as much anymore. But I like spending time with y'all the most. But yeah, I've been very involved the past few years of political stuff. And yeah, I do think it's good if people can see different opinions. But I love the trial chats because these people could get along with each other that were different political and religious views. That was so beautiful to see. That just moved me when I was with the trial chat group, because there's so much politics and hate with a lot of times of politics. And Lori said, I'll give her this thought. Try to piss off a redhead. Hilarious. All right. And let's see what Doe posted. Right here. All right. Let's go this way. Oh, Yeti cow, chat. Let's look at the Yeti cow. Scared. Man, we've been live for over an hour. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, that was a... Oh, I'll show Danielle the other video. So, chat, we're gonna watch that video again to show Danielle. Okay, let's go here. We're not completely sure what these sounds are. They remind us of seagulls, and they also remind us of, they remind us of seagulls, of baby foxes. We're not quite sure what they are exactly, but they sound like little baby critters in the woods. Scared. But Alien, it's almost Halloween. Yeah, scared. Yeah, I know. It's like the suspense is real. It's like just like those horror movies. It's like there's something lurking and they're watching you. That impending feeling of being watched by a Timu phantom. Scared. 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 Yeah, probe that like button. Thank you, Moki. Yeah, Timu Phantom. Oh, look at this. Looky here. All right, Lori says birds that can sound like seagulls in the woods of Missouri. I always want to say this, birds of Missouri include northern mockingbirds mimicking gull cries, bald eagles making surprising shrill sounds, and hearing gulls say, says Google AI. Okay, thank you, Lori. A shout out to Google AI. All right. So there you go. Those are some possibilities because I just didn't know what the Timu species were. Well, you know what that means. I'm gonna have to look this up. Oh, How to Do a Mockingbird. That was a very good book. I know it's a mockingbird. It had to do with like the civil rights stuff. I think the Atticus to do his name. Yeah. Okay. I have to see what that movie was called. I know what it is. Ha Jason. Yeah. Yeah, Timu Jason. Lori, you got the psychic abilities. You read my mind. That's what I was thinking was going to come out the woods. Ski-aired. Scared. Ski-aired. Scared. Yeah, Moki, she came up with some names, and cause I was telling her about Cupcake, and I'm still gonna call the kitten Cupcake along with its other name, but she was like saying that I named the cats before, but it wasn't even me. It was either came up with that. So she has come up with, my grandma came up with, was because since he wears like a suit, he, she, whatever it is, wears a suit, so they're calling him Mr. Mittens, or for now. But I'm also gonna call him Muffin Mr. Mittens, Mr. Mittens Muffin. I mean, cupcake, not muffin. Sorry. Yeah. So if Mr. Mittens is what she came up with, and I will still call the. I'll also hyphenate the name and call the kitty Cupcake too. Sometimes you give cats multiple names. And Lori says, as I get ready to go outside in the dark. Yeah. Scared. Yeah, and see, Lori just is going to be very hyper vigilant because she hears like some ambient theme music playing, and she hears just a crack or the wind picking up slightly. You know, she's going to have like a heart racing for a moment, and then she'll calm down. It'll just be a little spike of adrenaline. And then she might think she sees something, but maybe it's there, maybe it isn't. Scared. You never know what you can't see. Scared. Hamilton, great to see you. Welcome to the stream. All right, Hamilton, we're here. Our friend Doe is hearing some stuff in the woods, and we're trying to figure out what it is. We have an idea. It's a mockingbird type bird in the woods. And there's a Yeti cow in there, too, that we're listening to. So that is what we're doing at the moment. And Hamilton says, moke, moke, moke. Facts. All right, so Sauce, what we're listening to is Doe's Woods, and she's talking about these. There's these critters in the woods that we're not too sure what they are. We think that they could be. We thought they'd be foxes. We thought they could be seagulls. We thought they could be birds. Thought it could be a Timu Jason. You know, we're not really too sure. So yeah, there are Yeti cows that are being heard as well. I know. I was telling Doe I could go to sleep to this. By the way, this is Doe's channel. There we go. So, how are we continuing? Love these. Okay. Okay, I'm really going out there. Yeah, she's having second thoughts about going out there. Scared. 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 Yeah, Yeti cows. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Absolutely. You're welcome, Doe. Oh, it's to you. It sounds like monkeys. Yeah, yeah, it could sound like monkeys too. Yeah, that's possible. Some sort of species like that. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lori. That's very nice of you to do for Doe. Shout out to you. It sounds like a jungle, like the Lion King. It's certainly as Lori said, a Hakuna Matata. That's like the vibes you get from this. It reminds me of the Twilight Zone when they had the African episode where they had the voodoo episode. Yeah, the same sounds. Yeah, yeah, I know, right? And yeah, it could be monkeys. I'm not familiar, but hey, there could be still monkeys out there somehow. Maybe they got away from somewhere. You wouldn't go out. Oh yeah, scared. Is this soundtrack Louisiana? No, this is soundtrack Missouri, South Missouri. This is it's similar to Louisiana, but this is Missouri's soundtrack, or they'll, as they say, Missouri's soundtrack, as a abbreviation. Yeah, and Laurie says another good point. It sounds like how the pterodactyls would sound. Yeah, that's a very good one. Yes, absolutely. Because you think, seeing them fly through the air and how they would be, they would certainly have the type of Jurassic type of ambience to them. The way they would have their mating calls and their regular calls and stuff. Hamilton says, South Missouri, I have never been to, but have been watching the 5 years ago Sever's trial. Oh yeah, yesterday we were watching the Jimmy Rogers trial, which is connected to that. Yeah, and I've been watching Severs. I didn't see Severs when it originally happened because I was watching trials just yet, but I've seen the recent versions of it, the appeal hearings. He was born in California. All right. Okay, thank you, Sauce. A West Coast person here. Does anyone pronounce Missouri misery? I I don't think so. On my end, from my part of the neck of the woods, I don't think so. Maybe once. I don't think so. On my end, I remember I watched when I was like in eighth grade. So this is back in. I say. Oh, thank you, Hamilton. I'm glad you like the vibe. I usually say. I would say Missouri. Kind of like what you say, sort of. A little bit similar to how you say it, Hamilton. Uh, I when I was like in, we did a whole saga on Mark Twain, so I've heard the pronunciations for it, and also they call it Missouri. So by the way, it's really cool that you sent this video, Doe, because I did say about Missouri because of Mark Twain. So it's pretty cool to see a video like this come out from there. Anyway, so yeah, they pronounced it. I've seen it pronounced as Missouri. I kind of pronounce it a little bit similar to you, but a little bit different. But yeah, there's all kinds of different ways of pronouncing it. But yeah, the Missouri is quite is a slang for it that they use over there. Yeah, Habs. Okay, next kick ass. Okay, so do my Sharks. Yes, I say Ms. Ori. Yes, that is true. Hamilton, facts. He would go down the. I remember he would run steamboats, and that's when they would call it the Mark Twain mark. That was the marking levels for the steamboats, and yeah, very interesting stories. I like his stories that he had. Yeah, definitely. So that was a very cool one. All right. So continuing. Lori says Lori says Missouri is how I say it, but I'm Oregonium. Hilarious. All right, Sauce says Mark Twain once wrote, "The coldest day I have ever spent was a summer in San Francisco." That guy had a very big sense of humor. All right, hilarious. He was a newspaperian man in SF for a bit. Maybe made the famous comment connected. Yes. I watched one of his sequestered a movie, a claymation movie based on some of his sequestered writings that were released like 100 years later, and it had some stuff to do with supernatural things and philosophies about God, the devil, stuff like that. And I kind of articulated a certain way. It was quite interesting that the devil wore a mask, that looks like it's something good, but maybe it's not really so good, or maybe it is. It's so he had some interesting concepts about philosophical symbolisms from anything, including biblical stuff, because I believe in the Bible, but it is good to get the symbolic information from it too. Right. I love Oregon. Yeah, Oregon's a cool place. The Oregon Trail. See, that was the Yeti cow. Scared. It sounds like a bunch of... Sounds like goat demons. Scared. The cow wants it quiet. Now he's all fed up. Yes. Nice. Okay. Cow says, "You hearing this?" Lori says, "Cow says, you hearing this shit?" Yeah, hilarious. Yeah, the cow is like, it's cut that racket out. Yeah, the cow's in disbelief about what it's hearing. Definitely. All right, Danielle, what's up? Oh, look, it's one of those ghosts. Danielle, I do not know what you're talking about. That is very unfortunate that that occurred. So, yeah, aliens going in. Watch this. Watch this. See, look, this is my bazooka right here. You see, it's the team of bazooka. I have to go and I will check it out, Danielle. Thank you for letting me know about it. I've been kind of out of loop today. I was doing some yard work. Oh, that's really disgusting. One dresses Michael Myers, a clown, and a nun. They're a little bit old to do that kind of trick or treating. I mean, come on, that's a little bit. It's Timu. Is it Timu Amateur Night? You know, what's going on? Like, yeah, definitely. Oh, I have to close it. Okay, let's see. All right, see, that's the pirate from the face. That's my pirate right there, right? Yeah, yeah, very creepy. Get the bazooka. Yeah, yeah. Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. Yep, and that's my sword. Oh, this is my sword. Yeah, I'm over here on like a scary island. I'm showing off my weapon arsenal. It's really a wise thing to do, huh? All right, watch this. Watch alien spaceship go to jail instantly. Watch this. See, alien spaceship's going in. Watch. See, look. All right. Oh, there's Crazy Ned right there. He during the nighttime he hides like that. Can my thumb please just press the space bar instead of the V? Well, I think that with the thumb wrestling, that your thumb was claiming it was doing some thumb wrestling and it was getting mixed up, but I was telling your thumb that it needs to take responsibility for its action and get with the program and hit the spacebar instead of the V. So yeah, the thumb, I am crossing my fingers for your thumb to get with the program. Yeah. Alright. Oh look, here's another pirate. Alright, watch this. See, the instant death. That's what the Phantom did. Instant death. There's a certain type of thing you gotta do with these right here. Yeah, alien's gonna go to the spaceship jail. Scared. Scared. Oh, look at this alien. Okay, okay, okay. Ah, they don't let me back in the jail. See, look, those are my cellmates. Stupid and stupider. Okay, you don't have to go there, but I made a 7-second version of the narrow and down sound of the cow. I think it must be improved. It's oh no, I am falling in love with this cow. I'm gonna put a ring on that cow's hoof. All right, I am. I'm getting the Yeti cow disease of addiction. That's what I'm getting. Scared. All right, let's see the other video by Doe. All right. Moo, moo, moo. Brighter than the moon, moon, moon. I'm getting the... And my new word's going to be... Moo. Moo. Alright. No, I got this. I got this. Moo. Ma. Moo. Oh, this is gonna be Scared's stepbrother right there. Moo. That's Darrell Brooks when lube isn't used in Cell Block 8. I'm cold. Scared. He's like, ha. I guess that was his reaction, the cow's reaction when his Timu order came in. And Doe says, so for the record, it's the second after the cow that spoketh. Okay. Oh, it's down here. Moo. Okay, that's what I want to do. Okay. Maw. Moo. So the record, the second after the cow spoke me, and it was what I was trying to get the whole time. I was getting all bird sounds. Oh, okay. I mean, we're chilling there the whole time. You're getting into a philosophical discussion about what the birds could be, but it's actually the man, the myth, and the legend, and the animal, the cow. Brontosaurus. Yes, Brontosaurus. Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah, scared, moo. Scared, moo. Yeah, that was the scared. Okay. Okay. Let's bring this up. Yeah, and Danielle says like Alien is doing right now is hypnotizing us. So yeah. Okay, watch. I'm gonna be lucky this time. I'm gonna be lucky. Yeah, the cow is throwing its moo. Scared. Ah, you might have. Oh. 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 The cow runs. Yes. Sounds like a horn, kind of. Yes. Okay, Danielle. Good night to you. Thank you for coming. Oh, a trombone, a French one. Interesting. Yes. Yes. I've actually never been to this part of the game right here in my entire life. I've never been to this part before. I've never swum. I never swam out here. Okay. Wow. Oh, he got a score. That's good. That's good. All right, now we're taking out some of these Timu ships. All right, now plundering this. Knights. Scared. I have been playing this game since 2010 or probably 2011. I would say 2010. Or maybe before 2010. Something like that. It's been a while. Yes, but I would say probably 2010. Remember, this game is a remake of the original game. So there was a game that was originally like this, but Disney took it down. So then these independent creators recreated the game. And also they recreated Toontown. I played Toontown also. That's another good game. We haven't played it here yet, but it's like these goofy cartoon characters that are attacking the ships. It's like these goofy characters that throw pies and stuff at these business robots. Yeah. Like they're trying to make this a cartoon town into something that was more serious. So the the little characters are trying to like stop them from making Toontown into a corporate entity. Okay. All right, now we're taking out some Vipers. The Vipers are quite small. Yeah. So the original character was named Nate in the other game. In this game, the graphics are so much better. They added so many things to it, so it's much more advanced than the original version. And I also did Club Penguin. I like that one. It was like these cute little penguins, and you get to be a character and talk to people. That was one I played. Now, certain games weren't available for the type of computer I have, so it was good to get games that were available for the computer. Although, because, Mac only has, like... Now, Mac is more flexible now. But before, it was really restricted because it had an enclosed environment where only certain things were allowed. Kind of like our chat ecosystem is very, uh, say, different than other chats, a little bit more enclosed. What do you call it? Like you all have control over the like you like post links and stuff like that. It's kind of like a similar concept, but the but Apple has a lot of good things to it, where it has lots of safety features in it, and it could run certain programs and that the other ones can't run. So it just depends like what you want to use a computer for. So the I like how it's seems to be better with malware and viruses. But I'll have both. I have Windows and Mac, but I have both of them. I always did. The this one, but of course I was just not interested in a lot of these other things I could have played. I liked these that I was doing. Like these games that I have, I was interested in doing. Obviously, it wasn't just because I couldn't play something else, because I could have. Because you see on the Mac computer, actually, this is kind of going on like a side rant. They had something in it where you could partition it to put Windows on it, so you could have a Windows computer inside a Mac computer. So if I really needed the PC, it wouldn't be a problem to put it on there, but I had both technically. So now they did something different with it. To run another operating system, they would need a virtual machine, because Microsoft hasn't licensed it where they could use it on the M chips, these new chips they invented. So this one I was the most interested in, obviously because of pirate stuff, and it's a good game. I liked it, and I had friends and stuff in the original version, but of course all that information's lost now because of the new terrain. But in 2015, Disney shut down the website. 10 years ago this year. That's why this game had the 10-year anniversary of when this started, because that's when the original game ended, and there was like fireworks and everybody was like freaking out. And like one day I was going to go play the pirate game, and I found out, lo and behold, they took the whole thing down. And I was like, good grief, really? So I'm glad I'm able to play it again, because I felt bad that, you couldn't really play this game anymore. But they're developing it over many years, and here it is. Yeah, I mean, with the pirate game, it has good gameplay with you could sink ships, you can go on different quests and make friends. There's all kinds of stuff, and I remember from when I was growing up. Another thing that I like to play, chat, is Roblox. I liked doing that. I made two castles, or they're Timu castles, but they're still castles, and I made like a prison there, or like some sort of like a security facility like that. I made some houses. I made like a camping. It's like a suburb, but I made it's like a camping area where there's different little like log cabins. And on one of my times of all these outfits I have were from plundering. I plundered many different ships in my time, and that's how I got all this swag on me. Yeah. Yeah, that's where the pirates would be hung, right there. Frog said, "I've been in the riot chats messing with folks." So, hello, Frog. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you for hopping in here off your lily pad. Nice to have you with us. I need some more for Breeze. Scared. All right, so that is. I remember when I was over here in the original game, and myself and another companion, a random person in a game I had helped me. I was trying to find something for a quest, and I just couldn't, and it wouldn't register. And we did everything we possibly could, and it just wouldn't register that I found the gear, the what I need to find in these boxes. And he told me he did everything he could. And later on, I figured out that it loaded. It just was a glitch in a game where something didn't load properly. And I told him later I completed the quest because it was just there's like no way, it was impossible for me not to have had that taken care of. Yeah, arg. Yes, arg, yo ho, yo ho. And that's where Captain Jack jumped from this location to save Elizabeth Swan. Fun fact. And these are a bunch of Timu officers right here. Timu officials. Yeah, then with Roblox, there was something with the computer version I had. It was outdated, and I couldn't really. I was focused on some other things. I didn't get back to it, and then got a new computer, but the place is still up. It's interesting. And yeah, you have that right there. Press search. I'm walking at the park. Wind is blowing leaves off the giant walnut tree. Magical in the dark. Oh, that is such a beautiful sight. That is such a beautiful sight. And the fall breeze crisp as the roasting on a winter stove. Chestnuts roasting on a winter stove. Definitely. What's my scary movie? I would say that it's a good question. I have to probably give it some thought, but I could give you something off the top of my head. Probably one of the Halloween movies, probably from that time. Because I know that there's other ones, like the more classical ones. I'd probably say usually be House on Haunted Hill. No, wait a minute. I said I have to give it some thought. D-Sauce. I probably would say, nah. The Pit and the Pendulum with Vincent Price. That one. And then the other ones in a separate order after that one. So yeah, Pit and the Pendulum with Vincent Price in it. That movie was crazy. That was, yeah. Those Alan Poe movies are just really trippy. So yes, Lori, that is a nice breeze and a nice sight to see. And recently I've seen the Jason movies, the Friday 13th movies. I've not really seen them. I've seen some of them before, but not really all of them. So I'm starting to watch more of them. And yeah, I think they're very classic. You know, if they're not like classic, but you'll see a lot of similar themes in movies now, where there are people who will, in TV shows, that have the same type of themes with it, of how like the monster comes out from out of nowhere and you have to go and fight them. I asked AI about with Woody the Woodpecker, because that's like some classic little goofy cartoon. And I accidentally asked it, well, what it would think of Jason, and it said that Woody the Woodpecker would do everything it could to annoy Jason to get it out of the area, to stop hurting people, and would pull pranks on him. You don't watch a lot of those. Okay. Now, Lori, do you have a favorite movie in general you like? Or a movie that you were really fond of? Out of curiosity, if you think of one on top of your head, because when people ask me these type of questions, I don't always know myself. I love horror and different things. Van Helsing, yes. Yes, that's very good. That's very good. I saw that one. I liked it. Last year I saw Van Helsing, and a very good storyline. This is like the grocery store for the pirate realm. Yeah, but with the Roblox, there's all kinds of games you can play. There's independent creators that create their own versions of the game. There's a Titanic game where you have to escape the sinking Titanic, and that was so cool to like play in that movie and watch it as it goes down, and you're like with it as it's going under. It's just like being in the movie, but like with animated version of it. And there's these Zeppelins. It's just like like those hot air balloons. So much of that. I thought it was really cool to see because I would hijack another plane, not another plane, scared, another blimp, another Zeppelin, and I would drive it into the other one and cause the other team to lose. Like I was diabolical in that game. But yes, I would take the captain's wheel, and I would fire at the enemy, and you have like a crew on. So it's like kind of the pirate game, but in the air. Oh yeah, I like Lord of the Rings too. I like Lord of the Rings, and I saw them. Oh, Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings are two of my favorites as well. I like them too. And I think Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings has a healthy element of horror to it. I mean, where we are right now in Port Royal is a lot like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, ironically. Oh, Sleepy Hollow, that was a good one. Yeah, I like because it's very classic at Halloween and Gothic, like. So yeah, the Supernatural series is very nice, where they. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And okay, so with Harry Potter, I like how his journey from his youth, from his adulthood, because what he did was incredible. I mean, the movie itself is very essential about his resilience and perseverance into the opposition that he was facing. I think that is very noble and bold to put that in kids' movies. And seeing Voldemort and and then his other friend, we'll call his friend, Alien gets the tractor beam out to hijack a plane. Yeah, scared. And oh yeah, so I do use that. Even if it's from Timu, sometimes I do use it. Zero supplies us with what is necessary. Now, with Tom, let's say the counterparts, a friend of Voldemort, Lori and I understand this, a friend of Voldemort is Tom, and he really, this character Tom, this could be a possible spoiler alert, but it probably shouldn't. It probably won't be, but it could be. So the Tom, the this a wizard, he really let things get to his head, I think. And he came from Slytherin. And yeah, he seems to be kind of bold with Harry. And he's like, what on earth's wrong with you, dude? Like, he's going off the deep end. And that's the thing. His arrogance, it got the better of Tom. And Voldemort was very inspired by what Tom did. And he continued his work many years later. And, people saw the horror he caused. Now, I think another interesting thing, the girl that I had, call her my ex, but her and I didn't have a problem. We just went our separate ways after a couple of years. She loved Harry Potter too, like I did. And you know what I have? I have the two things. I have the Yes, absolutely. I agree with you about comedy that sometimes they're just you love all of them and you can't even really specifically get a specific favorite. Now, I have this jacket and it's from Gryffindor. It's a Gryffindor jacket. I got it my senior year when I was in school, and my school's colors was blue and yellow, but they did have red, so it was interesting to wear that on a free dress day sometimes. And I also have a scarf from Slytherin, so I like the merch of Harry Potter is so cool. It has such fascinating themes of it you could wear, from the different shows. So, yeah, I think Harry Potter, it's like it gets very light, and at some point it could get kind of dark. And the Death Eaters are very interesting because the tattoo that they have is a signal. It's like a notification on their phone, but it's on their body. A lot of the things from the magic realm that they taught in Harry Potter is technology like we have today. But it was on human. It was organic. It wasn't in the realm of technology. It was like inside the person, like the Bible says, the kingdom of God is within man. So it's interesting to see the type of technology that they have, but it was through wands and sorcery. Yeah. Dumbledore is very wise. He was always trying to look out for Harry. And Snape was widely disliked a lot. Snape was not really liked a lot by a lot of people, but maybe later he was more liked a little bit. Where he says Sebastian Maniscalco stand up Jordan Fisher as Gangsta Chief made me laugh so hard. Yeah. Yeah, that's very hilarious. Jim Carrey, I think, and Eddie Murphy are very funny actors in the different movies that they did. Yeah, the constant laughter is something that happens to me when I watch their movies. D-Sauce, do you have a favorite comedy that you like, or nothing in particular? Yeah, with Lord of the Rings, they, I like that one is crazy. So in a good way, the ring is like this. It's like a drug to them. I remember my buddy I talked about aliens with. He loved Lord of the Rings, and I was like in Pirates of the Caribbean, and he was into Lord of the Rings. Now, what we both, it's as I said, similar to Harry Potter, where it has a lot of happy, upbeat, like the Shire. It's very upbeat, and it's like a little Celtic village. I like that. And then there's also some darker moments. It's a nice balance. There's also this a Timu eye that looked around and was monitoring everything. Like it's that's very symbolic. Like it's symbolism between the darkness of like real surveillance and corruption of power. That's very that movie. The entire movie is very. It's all symbolism. Symbolism. I like Sirius Black. Oh, that character was awesome, Lori. That character was awesome. He. I remember when I saw that movie when I was growing up. I remember that very clearly. I got the book too. That was the first book I got from that series. Because I have the Harry Potter books too, and I read them every so often. And Saw says, Eddie Murphy, Raw is my all-time favorite stand-up. Oh, yes, that's a good one. Yes, you agree with Jim Carrey, Eddie Murphy. Yeah. All right, and with Sirius Black, a very inspirational story. The Prisoners of Azkaban. That I think that was my favorite Harry Potter. I don't know if I like the later ones more, but that was like my favorite one. I remember I got the book. I was in my other house before the hurricane hit, and I remember I had to get a new version of the book, but yeah, it was because the other one did not make it, but I had it on the bookshelf, and oh, that was very good. He was a good mentor to Harry, and oh, the Prisoners of Azkaban. That one is really peculiar because they're trapped in this like crazy place, and it would be so cool to see. I think everybody could agree that would be so cool if they made a Harry Potter movie on like a trial, and they based it off the characters we've seen in trials, like Dr. Siegel or Brooks and like Cementelli, all these crazy like people we saw in these trials. That if they could, or Amber Turd, if they could make some sort of Harry Potter with some sort of trial happening, because there was a prisons in Harry Potter. So if they made like a trial part as a side story, that would be so cool to see. Because I do think Trials in itself is like a movie. Oh, you forgot Pirates of the Caribbean for sure. Dumb and Dumber 94. Okay, thank you, D-Sauce. And The Nutty Professor was hilarious. That I remember when I was seeing that, I just couldn't stop laughing. That was insane. Yeah. Now Eddie Murphy's good in Haunted Mansion. He made it comedic. It's like horror movie, but it's comedic. Yeah. Oh, I love the part where the Dementors come around. That was like the smoothest entrance ever. Oh, that's great. You started the series again. That's great. That's great. And I love it. It's so smooth how bro just slides in. And that was like the most freaky thing ever. In the early 2000s, they can make movies scary without being stupid about it. Alright, Esau says, the only fantasy movies for me is Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Those are classics. Those are very good. Well, I saw those on tape. Yeah, on the VHS tape. Yeah. I saw the newer Star Wars, although the newer Star Wars are very political. I think certainly, like, I love how the old Star Wars was. Now, this is unpopular opinion, now, I do think the prequels explain the original story of Star Wars. It's good to see an explanation for it, and seeing his transformation to Darth Vader. A lot of people do not like to seek the prequels, though. A lot of people don't like them. And if y'all have any opinions about the prequels, I'd like to hear it. And, yeah, so they have the Star Wars, they have very classics. And then I like over time how, as the technology evolved, there is this more advancements in the way they did their filming. But the originals were so good, too. And there's really like an 80s feel from the older ones. And the newer Star Wars, I think they were all right, but there's some political stuff in some of them that people didn't like. Okay? People were turned off by. I didn't really pay attention to it, but people were talking about it, but like I don't even know if I was always political my whole life, but I was not involved with it deeply like I am now at all. Like this is before I was very seriously grinding on YouTube. I would upload videos and stuff every so often, but I was not like anywhere near beginning where I am now. Not even near it, because it was like 2018 or so. Scared. And basically what I think is it's important to have different commentary on the different movies from Star Wars, but yeah, I didn't see much of a problem with them, but I certainly can tell that they were they were politicized later. Yeah, and let's see. Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings is another good story of resilience and perseverance. I like that one. Like Star Wars, it's similar to Star Wars with the resilience and perseverance. And the group of friends fight against the enemy. There's also the Hobbit. That was a separate from Lord of the Rings that came out. That was nice. Yeah, I like the movies with wizards and stuff too. See now, there is a TV show I used to watch sometimes before school, which was a rerun. It was Samantha the Teen Witch. That was funny, and she had like a black hat. I like watching that as it was a TV show. That was pretty cool. And see, in general with prequels now, there's different generational gaps. But as I said, it's good to tie into the story to see like how it all started. Another thing to view some things from Harry Potter is similar to it's kind of like a computer. Like when sometimes they look into different, let's say, crystal balls, so no pun intended. When they do that, when they look into the future, you can definitely see it's kind of like a computer watching things from your hard drive. So you also wonder if there was like some sort of concept of technology in the past that they had that was similar to that, because a lot of it just seems like advanced technology, like what we have now, but on computers and phones and stuff. Yeah, so those are some of the thoughts on Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and some of the comedy movies that I've seen. Now, with stand-up comedy, Dave Chappelle is very funny. I think comedy these days, a lot of times there's like political correctness that came into play, and people didn't want to really take it, seriously like they used to. But now they take things more seriously now. So comedy's not like how it once was, because when you have a lot of censors going off, it's not the same as the original times in the past. So yeah, there's I'd say with a lot of things with movies coming out in this new age, in this new era, the era of political correctness certainly was a hindrance to movies, because back in the past they didn't have to put a lot constant political banter into things. There's a black character that did something cool, that did the right thing. People want to talk about like race. Like race wasn't really a concept. You had white people doing things. You had villains. You had people. You have women. Like Pirates of the Caribbean's a perfect example of like women leading the struggle, like with Elizabeth Swann. So you don't have to have like political nonsense in movies and really emphasize it. Actually, cause the opposite effect, in my opinion. All right, this is fire. Nice fire gates right here. Okay. Oh, of course, I can't forget about Transformers. I really liked that movie. And does anybody have any thoughts on Transformers the movie that came out in '07? Just curious. Because I know that there was a Transformers that came out back in the past from their cartoons. There was cartoons that came out where people would do their watch it on their cartoons in like the '80s, I think, '90s maybe, and then they made it into a movie. So I think Transformers movie was very good, personally. You have all these vehicles that are transforming into these different things, and the animations were very keen and good. It was a good storyline and consistent in different regions and stuff of that nature. All right. Okay, let's see here. All right, and Lori says, those feel like family history to me, Alien. I'm quite fey, but she may have meant fun. Yeah, thank you for your feedback on that. And, yeah, it's very definitely good memories of the different time periods. Okay, let's see. Let's go that way. Okay. I remember Count Dooku is the same character in Willy Wonka from 2005. I saw it in reverse. I saw Star Wars when I was little. I must have forgotten. But yeah, the Count Dooku, I'm like, man, this is Willy Wonka's dad. Like, yeah. There is dispute about which Willy Wonka was the better one. With Gene Wilder or Depp. Gene Wilder's the OG. I mean, that original Willy Wonka was the original one. I mean, shout out to that one, of course. Without that one, there wouldn't be any Willy Wonka movies. So, of course, that one has to be held in high esteem. Absolutely. Now, I do love the Depp one, because that one was from my time period, and the way it was, like, filmed and all, it was, like, more familiar with my generation. But the other one's cool, too. But, yeah, definitely the classic one's cool, also. Lori says, Bumblebee is my only Transformer for me. Yeah. Absolutely. Because Bumblebee's so cute, the way the character is, and... Oh, Faye as in elves. Oh. I see. I thought it was a typo because of all the typos that I have had. Okay. Thank you, Lori. So you're an elf. Okay. Nice. Yes, that's true. You are. I remember from you telling me that from before. Those, like, family history Alien, I'm quite fake. Oh, yes, because Lord of the Rings is, like, a family history to you. Yeah, and thank you for your feedback about that. That's very well said. I like that, what you say. And, okay, with the elves, I always liked elves from mythology, from, like, Norse mythology, too. Because I still listen to it, I just haven't listened to it in a long time. there's like Viking metal type music, and it would talk about the elves and like the folkloric landscapes. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's yeah, very nice. And yeah, Lord of the Rings. I like the peaceful melodies and hymns in it, the music in it. That's always very cool. Just like, and as I said, back in ancient Britain, in my opinion, because I'm a conspiracy theorist, it was like that at a time period. You had things like that in existence at some time in the past. They're either in hiding, or they got wiped out, or they're in plain sight. It depends. Shout out to Mary Toodles. And doing this one moment chat. All right, chat. Yeah, I'm back. And Doe says the same thing about the scary movies. Okay. Yeah, Ron Lloyd. And like as I said, I believe that Merlin was real, and or at least based on something real. And we talk about King Arthur and stuff. And yeah, Sarah, for instance, she loves it when we talk about King Arthur. And it's been a while since she's been here, but yeah, we like to talk about King Arthur and things of that nature from those times. But yeah, so Lord of the Rings is a favorite of mine too. And oh my the one I talk about aliens with, yeah, he got me into Lord of the Rings, and he was very interested in swords and shields. He had medieval weapons and medieval armor. He was very, very brilliant, and that's what he would spend his money on. And I'm glad he did. I mean, he certainly was a genius, and he taught me about sword fighting and how to use different weapons, and he's even, you know, been very generous, giving me gifts and stuff like that. And back and forth, we were, gave each other gifts and stuff. And yeah, he taught me about the different sword fighting methods, and that's something he was really interested in, because he liked Lord of the Rings. And so yeah, and also something he had, and his it was at the foresty place. He had this place where he had like a Spartan shield, and he had these different types of shields. And when I was, it's kind of heavy. It wouldn't be as heavy for me now because I'm older, but yeah, it was heavy. As I held it before, it's really big. It was made out of it's not made out of metal like the ones in the movie, but it's made out of some other type of material. But yeah, it was heavy. Those Spartans had a lot of haul around a lot of, when you have a shield, it kind of like makes you more stationary. I've also have a World 2 helmet, and yeah, it just, when those things are on you, it just anchors you down. It's like an anchor, and it makes you not as easy to move as freely. Oh, hello, Moki. Frog was here a while back. Frog said, "I've been in the riot chats messing with folks, lol." And that's what Frog told Moki. I don't know where he is now, but yes. And yeah, so the Pirates of the Caribbean, I love this type of stuff too, with the swords and things like that. Yeah, so that's also pretty cool. I read The Hobbit when I was 10 and got hooked. That's awesome. And you got to like read the book when back then. That's so cool. You saw it before it was a movie. Yeah, the books are good. The books are good. Oh yeah, I'm sure that was very enchanting. Now with something that I liked was when I was coming up was there was these Disney cartoons. I'd say it was a Disney movie about Merlin and King Arthur. I liked it. And then I had the action figure of Merlin. I remember I was in this called the back room, and I had the Merlin toy. Toys were so different back then. They weren't made in Temu, and that was so cool because it was like from like a '90s type toy. And yeah, I thought the wizard stuff was interesting. Then Harry Potter, I saw that one look like a year or two later, and that was said my experience with it, and I'd say Harry Potter was, and I like the books of Harry Potter. Those are good. My cousin liked to read them also. Yeah, and I will also say I'll say this again and again and again. The books have more information in them than the movies a lot. Even in Dracula, I'm reading Dracula that was Nosferatu was based off of. And it was that movie was very, very good. The new version and the older version. It was loosely based on Dracula by Bram Stoker. Yeah. And Sauce says, I only read Sports Illustrated magazines or just skim through them. I like sports magazines too. Those are good. I liked reading about sports in the newspapers. When I was like coming up, I'd like when the Saints would do something, I'd read it in newspapers predominantly. That's like what I did. Right, and because a lot of times with these legends and myths, like they're passed on down the line over time. You know, with the different years and years that they have, and over time things could be changed, things could be edited, and it's based off some origin somewhere. Gorafy was the one who. Gorafy was the one that was recording information about Merlin and King Arthur, and he got it from information before he was around. So it was something that was already being talked about before he documented it. One day they might remember us as legends. Although there was the internet, so it's easier for people to know who we were, unless some bomb is dropped and they wipe us all out, and the internet is hard to access for some reason. I don't know, whatever happens. Or I mean, I'm sure technology is going to be unimaginable in the future, like after we're not here. But yeah, in theory, there would be, people wonder like what we did in this era, and they'll be making movies about streamers of YouTube. The pirates of YouTube, or something like that, and and each generation will have these different things to talk about. So yeah, I always like to study about history and how it mirrors itself over time, the parallels that can be drawn throughout the different generations. I like the Misty Mountain song. That was a good one. Okay, now Titanic's another movie. It's a like a sad romantic movie, which y'all know about. Yeah, that was a movie I thought was cool. And it's also very all people might argue the historical accuracy, but I think it's pretty historically accurate. But yeah, except for the Jack and Rose thing, was Romeo and Juliet changed into something else. That's like what it was. That was a really cool movie, seeing how the Titanic sunk, how that would happen. Although Cameron said later that it wasn't the way it actually sunk. They found out it sunk. It didn't go as high up in the air as the one in the movie did. And those are good lessons to learn from the Titanic incident. All right, the Kraken has fallen. They defeat the Kraken. Kinds of Timu mushrooms in here. Yeah, look at these. He's very ghoulish for Halloween, definitely. All right, and we're going to probably depart from this cave and go to another spot. As the different islands, the caves are more hostile. Mist and Shadow is a gorgeous song and breaks my heart. Ah, okay. I thank you, Lori, for your take on it. Okay, and yeah, sung by Pippin of Lort. Ah, okay, yes, okay. Yeah, I've heard that one before. Yeah, it's very touching. Yes. I think her name is Enya. I think she or Enye, she did some songs for them, I think, or at least people make songs from her, use some of her songs in some of the clips that they do. You remember, Gandalf and Dumbledore are based off of Merlin, and Harry Potter and Frodo are based off King Arthur. It's the same story being retold over and over. Laurie says some of the lyrics. Mist and shadow, cloud and rain, all shall fade, ah, all shall fade. It reminds me of the fading trees when they become autumn, when it becomes autumn colors. And it and they fall and fade. And I like the symbolism with the clouds and the rain because they just dissipate without any sound sometimes. So yeah, it reminds also the end. There's a beginning and an end. Oh, you like her too? Yeah. Yeah. Her classic one is Only Time. Yeah. And then there's one of my favorites, God in Heaven. That one is so ambient and majestic. Yeah, she does good. And there's content creators that have recreated the music on their own, and they're very talented the way they do it. Yeah. So yeah, she was a very good artist as well. You know another good movie called Brave? I don't know if you've seen it. It's a Disney movie where the redhead, she's what you would call was from the Celtic movie from Disney. The soundtrack in that one's very good. It's excellent. And very touching. Heartwarming. The Celtic music's beautiful. The Nordic music is also beautiful, but a lot of it can be very rough. But in a good way. It's like kind of makes you get pumped up. I love the harps and flutes. Adrian von Ziegler on YouTube does lots of good Celtic music. I've listened to him since the teen years when I discovered it. Oh yes, you like the Lord, yeah. So the fall weather, it's always so refreshing. It's kind of like it's an upbeat thing to experience, and the crispy wind is something undeniable. Now I have most of the decorations up for Halloween, and there's been lots of wind and rain recently. It's not fall weather yet, but it's a little bit breezy. The Farmer's Almanac was saying that up north it was going to be cooler, and down here it's going to be warmer, and it was right. Later on, it'll get cooler down here, allegedly. Yes. I also saw Frozen. Because I like Disney, and I was interested in the Norse mythology. And yeah, that one was good too. Yeah, when I was a toddler, I had hair just like her little brothers, the red curly hair. I had identical, like just like that. And so the animations are good. Although I like the Disney animation, the classic ones they had back in the day. I do like these newer animations are interesting. I like the different topics they touch on. It's a quite interesting history to it. Now, I think it takes place in like Scotland. Oh yes, you listen to him too? Oh, that's facts. Wow. Oh my god. Oh, here we go. Wow. Let's go into that one. So, the Celtic music is just so brilliant. Celtic music is just it's really enchanting how he was able to, with his instruments, with the machines, he was able to do that. I mean, the Celtic Prophecy is one of my favorites because I love the bagpipes in it. Yeah, and he does things from other cultures like Japan and Asia and all over the place. Yeah, but I love the Celtic music. So peaceful. Yeah, it makes you feel like you're really there. So, yeah, the Celtic Prophecy is good. I remember one Halloween night, I listened to a montage of his Celtic album, and I didn't know like what all the songs are called. I'm like, wow, this is really really enchanting. It really is, and it's like a story being told through it. Yeah. So yeah, Adrian's very good. Because, like, the other cool thing about it is the artwork that he uses is also good, too. You know, the different forest themes. I like Moon Song, where it has, like, a deer hanging out. And I like the one with the wolves. That's cool. And I love reading the chat messages because they have so many stories of, like, people who write their own stories out of it, and it really just has your mind wander different places. So that's my, I'm glad to know that Lori, and very talented. Yeah, many years listening to that stuff. That's Jolly Rogers. He's the mastermind behind all this. All this nonsense we see. That's him. It's a hologram of him, though. And these are some of his henchmen. Like, doing piracy right now. And then there's the Blunderbuster. Okay. War Duranda, if I'm pronouncing that right, is the one that does the Nordic Viking type music. It's more aggressive than the Celtic music for some reason. I don't like. As I said, the history of it. I don't know, like, why would I know why the Vikings would be more gruff with the sounds and stuff with the music. I like both of them though. The one is more aggressive than the other. But you would use it for different situations. But yeah, I like the Nordic music too. That's nice. He got knocked out cold. All right, here we go, another one. All right, and then this is another one right here. Let's go this way. All right, so taking these out. Now, I will say the northern seas are very rough. I've seen from YouTube they can be very harsh seas, and when they go through the ocean and stuff, not the ocean, the sea, it looks like a big ocean. It could have all kinds of things in there. And people, and those little dingy boats they were going under, it's like, good grief. Like, Lord. Scared moo. So they were able to go through those harsh terrains. Right. And Lori says, well, I have to get up super early to give my son a ride to work. You'll have a great Saturday evening. Okay, Lori, a good night to you. Thank you for coming. Hello, Caravel. Good to see you. How are things going with you, Careful? I hope everything's going well. You're welcome. Everything's going good with myself. Everything's going well. Uh, I've been having a good stream. We're talking about a couple of different like topics, like movies and fall and stuff like that. So that is something we were, the streams are going well. I did stuff with earlier. I did different things in the yard stuff. So yeah, I've been a little bit busy, but I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. All right, that looks like a face to me, right there. Like, let's see if I zoom into this. Okay. Oh, I didn't see that. No. That's something that I will definitely look into watching. Thank you. But as I say, Careful, thank you for letting me know. I'm going to certainly check it out. All right. Okay. Okay. Yes, yes. We did watch the trial together, and I do want to know more about what the series has in store about their take on it. So I really am very interested to see that. I'm always interested to know, Careful, about anything with trials like that. They have like some sort of Netflix series about something. Always let me know. Thank you. We've seen a lot of trials together, and throughout the years. So it's nice that it's getting more attention, more people can see and know about it. Because I think trials are very important to see and people to know about in general. And we like to rewatch them here all the time. It's quite intriguing. Oh, interesting. Careful. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Yeah. Yesterday we were watching Jimmy Rogers, and I did not see that one. That was interesting to see, because he was recently in court for an appeal as a witness for the appeal hearing for Severs. Yeah, and it's just a complete waste of a person. I mean, to just go and do murder like that and be locked up with. But yeah, we were watching that one. It was interesting to see. I haven't seen that one yet. Oh, but prior to yesterday. All right, let's see some fishing. All right, we got our fish in the deep blue. All right, let's see. Well, this time we're going to get this fish. Or we're going to get this fish right here. All right, there we go. 5 gold. Yeah, I mean, when and recently there's been some drama. I don't know if you've heard about it with with a law tuber in LC. with LC and the other one, there's a law tuber. So we were talking about that the other day, and we were kind of thinking that there is some possible grifting going on. Yeah, that was something recently has been brought up, but LC has not really posted any trials or anything much lately. So that didn't really make any sense to me. But yeah, hopefully they get some more trials up there for us to see, but it's okay if they don't. We'll just be chilling over here and elsewhere. Alright, D-Sauce says hello to Careville. That's nice. Alright, let's go up here. Alright, and he caught his fish. Alright, so we're going to go and catch another one. Okay, it is going to go down here. Careville says, yeah, I cannot believe servers is even getting a hearing. What a waste of time and money and auction, lol. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that it's right for any, because he's not getting out. He definitely doesn't deserve it. It's possible. I almost got it. I almost got it. Yeah. Yeah, they should know, as I say, they all need to throw away the key. Definitely. Okay, and then fishing it in. Alright, nice. Nice. Alright, I got some more gold. Yeah, so it was interesting for us to see, but certainly a waste of oxygen in general for the people in the court. I agree. Alright. Unlawful law, as Brooks would say. Alright, let's go up. Alright, there we caught our fish. I remember, like, it's always on this channel, it's cool to see people react to some of the trials we've seen for the first time. And yeah, and Tellus, as I said, that guy was a clown. That guy was funny. But, like, he was just, like, made a fool of himself. What Tellus did. Yeah. And if there's any new trials coming up in the coming week, we'll certainly be talking about them. There's not been a lot of activity lately. Alright. Okay. 32 gold. That's nice. The other fish are at different levels that you see, like, down below. Like, that's what those are. Oh, okay. Thank you, Careful. I went to level 5 fishing. That's great. Alright, let's see. Let's go to K. Oh no, this is the fishing pole right here. No, it's not the fishing pole. Yeah, I caught the weird looking one. Yeah, and then yesterday I was talking about I was showing D Saucin about the law tour that was beefing with LC about her, them trying to, LC stalking her, allegedly trying to see some trial about something with a kid that she had. And I said the thought is on our end that we're not denying that, maybe something happened, but uh, it was like there could have been grifting going on, and they're trying to influence people to be against LC in their chat, and people are unsubscribing from LC because of this law tuber's allegations against the channel. But I don't think that LC was trying to do anything intentionally bad. I think they just cover trials and things like that. And someone's a public figure, that's what what's going to happen. So that's what we were speculating in that situation. It's something from we're talking about yesterday. And I did not see a significant drop in subs from either channel though, so it wasn't like a big dent in it. All right, D Sauce. Thank you for coming, buddy. It was nice hanging out with you tonight. Peace. Or this is going to be lost right here. Lure lost. Okay. Let's go here. Right now it is going deeper down below. Let's see. Does it catch this one? Doesn't catch that one. Okay. Oh. Well, that actually kind of contradicted. Carol said, "Oh yeah, she is mad she got found out. Yeah, glad you checked, and not surprised it didn't make a dent. She is getting a bad rep past couple of years." Yeah, yeah. And I was yesterday speaking in defense of LC on the channel, and there was one individual that was getting triggered, but everybody else, our group that we talk to Caraville regularly was on the same page as we are. And yeah, I just feel it's like, grifting and is nothing to do with act. It's just you wouldn't be on the internet as a public figure if you didn't want people to know what you're talking about, and you're talking about it more. It's just it's madness. So that was something that I thought was goofy. Just that's what people do. It's hate. Lots of hate, and people just trying to spread clout. For themselves. Oh, I ran out of lures. I'm gonna go buy some. We'll have to go this way and check it out. Yep. Let's go sink a ship or two and come back. Yeah, the 9-hour stream. It's like laud. It's like you're trying to keep your information private while having a 9-hour stream. I think that's crazy. It's not like how it's supposed to be done. All right. It's not like it's completely contradiction. Okay, we're going to go out this way. All right. taking out some of these she-ups. I'm scared. Turning over this way. Alright, then going that way. Yeah. And also, we're commenting on her fake eyebrows, too. It's like a completely Botox looking. Scared. Okay, now we're attacking this ship right here. Okay. So, and this is the 10-year anniversary. Yeah, lion face. Yeah, I was thinking that she looked like the Cross the Clown from that old 50s commercial. Exact same eyebrows. Yeah. All right. So, okay, and now we go out in this direction right here and go back to the shore. Pirated some cargo. Now we're going to have some more. Okay. All right, 200 gold. Well, that's great. Let's see, this increased. That's good. All right. Let's go this way. All right, now I'm going to be ending the stream now, and careful, I will see you more on the next one. Thank you for coming by for towards the end towards right now, and shout out to you, buddy. And I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out with us. We've had a great stream, and everybody have a good night, good evening, and have a good weekend, everybody, and take care.